Hello, and welcome to the newest edition of the Principal's Office here in the brand new studio at Aspen Pink. My name is Phil Crisostomo. I'm the principal here at Aspen Pink. With us today, of course, is our other principal, Jared Warren, our principal at SciPac.
Hello, everyone, and Dr. C. Thank you for inviting me over to the Aspen campus. This is a beautiful studio. I know this is brand spanking new, so it's good to switch it up a little bit and be here on your campus and in our other studio.
Yeah, I think Nick Sikowski did a great job of putting this all together. Really looking forward to being able to make use of the studio here.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to travel all the time, to come see you.
Absolutely. In the spirit of equity here. So.
Absolutely. So first, of course, this is the end of September, but it is Attendance Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. And we bring this up because it's really important to make sure not only are you here, but you're here on time. Mm-hmm. So the first and most important thing I know I stress with our students at the beginning of the year is that 18 absences means a loss of credit. And so while we want to have you here and we understand that things do happen, that if you had 18 absences, that means that you don't get any credit for the year. And that would really stink for to have been coming here and doing all the work and even to possibly have an A or a B and in a lot of your classes and still end up with basically a failing grade.
Absolutely, and you don't want to be you don't want to put yourself in that position. So we understand that there are going to be absences throughout the school year. Just maintain communication with your respective school, your main office. Bring in any documentation when necessary to verify your absence. And anytime the school we see that you could be approaching that limit, we'll certainly be in contact with you and develop a plan and really here when it comes down to is communication support, and that's what we're here to do, and it's what we're committed to do.
And of course, it's important to make sure to remember too that it's not just doctor's notes that account for excused absences. If you're taking your driver's test, if you're visiting a college, if you have to appear in court, there's other reasons why you might have to be absent from school, and we understand that. So anytime you have any of that documentation, and if you're not sure, you can always ask your counselor or come into the main office. But if you have that documentation, make sure you bring it into the office so that we can take care of excusing the absence for you. So again, it's 18 unexcused absences that is a loss of credit because we understand that there are going to be times where we have business and things to take care of.
Sure. Absolutely. Another thing I want to bring up, in addition to attendance, is safe driving practices on campus, especially with our seniors and anyone else who has a license and a parking permit on campus. You're on a school campus. We both have very open campuses. Students are crossing. They're walking between classes. Please observe all caution at all times. 5 miles per hour on campus. We do not speed. We're not doing anything to jeopardize your safety and the safety of our students and staff. So when you're on campus, we're driving slow. We're observing caution. And, we just want to keep the safe community that we have at both schools and keep that going and keep it, keep it there for everybody.
Yeah.
So.
And also along with it too, if you haven't got your parking permit, it's important to make sure you get that. Here at Aspen Pink, we said they had to have it by last Wednesday. And so at this point now, we're starting to give notices and making sure that students know if you don't have a pass up in your car and you haven't filled out the paperwork yet, that right now we're leaving notices. We're not telling anybody. We're not trying to get people in trouble, but we do really need to know that it's your car that's here on campus. So, please make sure to get that taken care of in the main office.
And that goes for staff members too. Last year, fun fact, I had a rental car for about a week and I was ticketed. So I didn't get my new temporary pass. So it goes for staff members too. We want to make sure that those of you who are driving and parking on our campus, your car is there. It's registered and ready to go. So you don't want to get what I got last year. So
speaking of which, October 5th, we have a fundraiser coming up, Haldeman Ford. So you don't need your parking permits for that. But if you are old enough to drive, we'd love to see you out there at Haldeman Ford. Get the chance to be able to test drive a bunch of different new cars at the dealership. From what I understand, there's no sales pitches or gimmicks. The point is just to bring you in, give you the chance to test drive the cars, see what they're like. Might have to answer some questions, but every person that test drives, from my understanding, or is it every person, every household?
I think it's every person. Yeah.
Every person that test drives will earns $20 for the school. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to buy anything. Well, we're going to have breakfast and lunch there. So
Food will be there.
it'll be a great time. So I'd love to have you come out. But October 5th, make sure you put it on your calendar. I think it's 9 to 3. I remember.
I believe so.
Um,
I believe so. And also, just to put it out there as well, this is a fundraiser the district used to have, and pre-COVID times, and so this is the first time we're bringing it back post-COVID. So excited to get things back up and running, and good opportunity for MCTS and families to get together. So.
Yeah, so I hope you can be able to join us. We'd also know too, this is a busy time of year. My daughter has marching band and competitions and things like that. So I know I'm going to try to be there first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But we'd love to be able to see you out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of October 5th, the following week we have Week of Respect, October 7th to 11th, and we also have NJGPA testing that week as well. Week of Respect is pretty unique. It is a collaboration amongst students and teachers to come up with activities and a theme for each day. And we focus on things such as empathy, obviously respect, but we do things to come together as a school community to really develop that positive culture for the rest of the school year, and really make it known that we don't tolerate disrespect and poor behavior on our campuses. Every child, every student on our campuses, they have a right to be there. They have a right to go to school, be an active participant, and we're just showing our support and for you and for everybody. And it's a good time for both campuses.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. But as we get ready and gear up for the Week of Respect, we also want to point out too that if you see something, we want to make sure you say something. You probably heard that phrase before. If you see something, say something. But we can't emphasize enough how important that is because both in my time, and I'm sure you can say, Mr. Warren, in your time as an administrator, we've seen times where students haven't shared out that something's happened or that something is happening, and so situations can a lot of times get worse if we don't make sure we address it as soon as possible. We do have the Stop It app, so we'd love for you to make sure whether you report it to a counselor, to a teacher, an administrator, or through the app. There's plenty of opportunities to share out when you believe something is happening, and our goal is to make sure really that we stop and we address it as quickly and as best as we can.
Absolutely. That's our number one goal is building principles. We want to make sure you have the opportunity every single day when you either park your car, get out of mom or dad's car, or off your big yellow limousine called a school bus, that you have an opportunity to come to a safe environment where you can learn, interact, be social, and win the day, as we say it over at SitePack.
Now, speaking of being social, one of the great things our student council is getting ready to do over here at Assunpink is we're preparing to actually roll out social media for our student council. So they came up with the idea of having a social media platform and being able to share that out because, as you know, and as we all know nowadays, students in high schools now are really paying attention to social media. They're not really checking emails. We can send a text message, but they're really paying attention to what's happening online. So they wanted the opportunity to share out what's happening here in the building. So we're looking forward to getting that set up. Hopefully by the next principal's office, we'll actually have the handles and everything ready and set up to go. But they're really excited about starting that up and having the opportunity to share their voice.
That's awesome. And our student council, they're preparing for some fun things as well. I know upcoming this week we have a voter registration drive. Big election. It's a presidential election year, so that those every 4 years that seems to generate more interest, more excitement, and we definitely want to bring awareness to our students who are of age to vote. To become active citizens in the voting process. I know we have a Spirit Week in the works, which is upcoming late October for students over at SitePack, and then we also have preliminary talks about a breakfast for our students as well. So that's coming down the pike, but keep.
Yeah, a lot of great things happening here. We also have some clubs that are getting started. So now that we're almost at it, hitting October, we've had here we have 2 clubs that are ready to go. That's our crochet club, and it's going to start second marking period. It's a healthcare club for students that are interested in hearing about the healthcare field. So For with that club, we're going to be bringing in guest speakers every week. People that are out in the field, doctors, nurses, dentists, and you name it. Trying to bring in different people that have different perspectives for our HSA students to be able to meet and greet and learn from these individuals. And the Crochet Club is looking forward to being able to learn and practice not only the crocheting skills, but even possibly being able to share those skills out with others and possibly some of the things that they make too.
Awesome. And now's the time to get involved with clubs. At both campuses. I know. Speaking for the SitePet campus, we do have a lot of clubs available. They are having initial meetings at this time, and we're hoping to firm up club rosters. Probably by this week or the end of next week. But I think the beautiful part about our clubs and activities at MCTS is that they're all student led. They're all student led. Students come to us with ideas. And our staff they serve as advisors, and if we go through the process and you become an approved club, that's really cool because you come to school to obviously tend to your academics and fulfill those requirements, but you want to connect with students as well, and this is a perfect way to connect with students through one of your passions that you really devote to outside of school. Bring it into school.
Yeah, and it's from what I understand, it's also not too late to start a club too. So, if you have an idea for a club and want to be able to start one, never say never, and it's not too late.
Yeah.
Is take the opportunity to jump in, check in with us to let us know what the process is, and we'd love to be able to help you get your club started.
Absolutely. One of the big things that we have upcoming on September 25th, which is tomorrow, is back to school night. So we have back to school night coming up. It's our annual tradition of families connecting with our teachers and being on campus, seeing what we offer at both schools. So we have back to school night, which is set for tomorrow night, which is Wednesday the 25th, starting at 6 o'clock. It's always good to arrive a little early. Parking, just make sure that you have parking and everything, and you're not rushing around. We understand that folks do work, and everyone's busy, but we are set for 6 o'clock to about 7:15, and we have a nice itinerary for you folks.
Yeah, looking forward to having all of the parents on campus. We know for our freshmen, we got to see you during our orientations and our open houses, but that was before it was all real, right? And so now that school has actually started, and you're getting to the point where you're now really thinking about, well, what are these classes going to be, and what are students going to be learning here? This is a perfect opportunity now to jump in. Now that everybody's been here for a couple of weeks, so we look forward to sharing, what your children are going to be learning to our parents, and of course to our students. You'll kind of get the rundown just like you got at the beginning of the year.
Absolutely. So, you know what, Dr. C, that's all I have for my side of SitePet.
I think one other thing, and it goes for both campuses, college visits have started.
Oh, yes.
So,
That's
yeah, I
right.
almost forgot about that. But we have, in fact, we have one here today. So if you're interested in checking out some of the colleges that are coming through, we have some colleges that are coming here to visit, but also we know that some of you might be going to see colleges as well.
And I know we have college fair set up throughout the year. I know Miss Fredetta leads a college fair in February. But you have already received communications from Miss Fredetta regarding college visits. I know Miss Fredetta will plan to come talk to you, come talk to the academy seniors throughout the school year. If not, I believe she has done that already. But like Dr. C said earlier in our podcast, if you do go to a college visit, make sure you do bring back a letter. You do get excused for that day, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's it for me, Jared.
All right, great. All right, so Dr. C, we have a little something we say here, a little slogan, and I'll tell you what. For this one, I'll let you say it off. So, what happens here at MCTS?
Magic happens here.